Hi, Aquarius. I hope you guys are doing really, really well. My name is Brian. I am your queer psychic bestie, and I have a reading for you guys today. This is going to be a monthly forecast for the sign of Aquarius for the month of October. So, if you have Aquarius anywhere in your chart, maybe you vibe with Aquarius, you could be a cross watcher. Whatever the case may be, this reading may resonate with you. As always, this is the internet, so take what resonates and leave what does not. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that through email or form submission on my website. Why is my earring acting weird? Earring's been acting odd today. Aquarius, we are doing a Celtic cross for you guys today. So that just gives me the largest view of your month at a glance. We'll be talking about pretty much everything and just seeing what's coming up, what's the vibe, what do you need to know, all those good things. So let's get a few more out and then we're going to dive into it. Okay. One more, please. Okay. Thank you. Okay, interesting. Your outcome gooped me. I will not spoil it for you. It is the last position in the entire Celtic Cross, so it will be at the end. I'm going to show it to you. You know what? I'll show it to you. I'm a little gooped by it, but I'm going to show you. Who knows? Love could be sneaking up for some of you. Okay. Without further ado, Aquarius, let's dive in. Bottom of the deck is your challenge. Represents what you're not seeing, what you're not looking at. Knight of Cups, Knight of Swords, Three of Pentacles, the Tower. I think love is sneaking up on some of you. It feels like, for those of you that this isn't love, like romantic love, it feels like a lot of you are charging forward. Like the two knights back to back, literally right next to each other, is a very big indication of like quick. The word I just heard was boisterous, like boisterous forward movement. Maybe it's like loud forward movement. Three of Pentacles is teamwork and collaboration, so this could definitely be in work for some of you. But overall, the general vibe for the Aquarius, the challenge is that you guys are moving forward. And I feel like some of you are going to have some struggles navigating a more positive environment for yourself. Knight of Cups, Knight of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Tower. Again, whether or not this is romantic is for you to decide, but it does feel like you have some strong connections coming in, some new strong beginnings coming in, and that in and of itself feels like the trigger. So let's dive in. You start with the Five of Pentacles. So Five of Pentacles off the bat, this is a tough energy to be in. It's a card of abandonment. It's a card of walking away from something. Five of Pentacles is being stuck out in the cold, but it is not always us being abandoned. Sometimes we are the one walking away from something else, right? Because your crossing card here is the Knight of Pentacles. So in the Celtic Cross, the crossing card, the Knight of Pentacles here, is either a help or a hindrance. This feels like a help for some of you guys. It feels like as you're moving forward into the next phase of your life, this is very much giving slow and steady wins the race. I feel like you're being called to move at like a very calm pace right now, at a very, the word I just heard was leisurely pace right now, to really slow down and smell the roses. Let's see. Okay, Page of Wands. Ace of Swords. Yeah, for a lot of you, this could be work. Like there's a new chapter in work beginning for you. Maybe you're walking away from a job, but Page of Wands, Ace of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles is very much like It feels like you guys are pouring your cup into something new here. And that seems the theme for all of you, right? Obviously, all the cups are going to be different. Where we're pouring our cups are going to be different from Aquarius to Aquarius. But in general, the feeling here for all of you is that you're pouring into some sort of cup. You know, with the Seven of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords, I feel like a lot of you are doing this with the intention of growing something. There is this idea here of, I want it to flourish. I want it to come through. And with that Page of Wands, I feel like, how do I describe this? It's like you're not getting it where you are currently, is how this is coming through. It's like that feeling of, okay, this isn't giving what I want from it. Like if you leave a job because the job isn't giving you benefits, you go to a new job for what? The explicit purpose of getting benefits through that job. This is that energy for you, Aquarius. You're leaving something behind because it's not giving you benefits, or it's not giving you something that you need for long-term growth and like long-term stability. And I feel like with the Ace of Swords and the Page of Wands, for someone here specific, you may encounter like some tension as you walk away from something, but it feels like with that Ace of Swords, Page of Wands, there is a need for very direct communication right now, right? So let's say you do leave a job and they ask for the reason you are leaving. This is a moment, Aquarius, to be extremely direct. You know, Aquarius is an air sign, tends to be a little bit more direct out of all the other signs anyway, but this is a moment to step into that Aquarian energy and be like, yeah, hey, there's no benefits here for me. That's why I'm leaving. You know, it's being direct and being forward without, the way my guides are saying this to me is like, without being cruel about it. You know, we can be truthful without being mean. And I think that's sort of where this energy is lying for you right now. Because even in your headspace, you have the Fool. I think a lot of you guys are just kind of, it's almost like fed up. You know, it's kind of like this energy of like, why am I putting up with this still? The way my guides are saying this to me is like, let's say maybe this is career for a lot of you, because I'm getting a lot of job like examples, but let's say you're working a job where there's supposed to be 5 managers and there's only 2. As one of those 2 managers, Aquarius, like you're going to struggle. You know, you're missing a huge chunk of your management team. And this is kind of that moment of being like, you know what? Like, I don't have to live like this anymore. Like, why am I dealing with this? Why am I putting up with this? That's the sort of fed up that I'm feeling from this reading. Is that just sense of like, why do I have to deal with this? You know, it's giving like above my pay grade kind of energy. No! It fell on the floor. Yeah. It's checking. It's clocking. Thank you. Annie. Sorry, our dog has like allergies and hot spots. Like he just like gnaws at. Yeah, we've got the Ten of Wands here, the Page of Cups, the Page of Swords, and the World. Yeah, it's just like, I feel like for some of you guys, you may be reaching out to people around you, like friends, colleagues, connections, people in other businesses or other sectors of your business, and being like, hey, are you dealing with this? And I feel like the more you get told no, the more you realize you're like, oh, this is a me problem, you know? But I don't think it's a me problem in the sense of, I'm not saying that as like it's your fault. It's unique to your situation, and it's unique to where your station is. And I feel like a lot of you guys are very frustrated by this, but this to me almost feels like the push that you need. You know, I feel like some of you guys, if you don't realize just how much you're being taken advantage of right now, what does the future look like? You know, with this, the 2 pages here, I think a lot of you guys are also sort of like, okay, if other people aren't dealing with this, why should I have to deal with it? And if other people aren't dealing with it, how do I get to where they are? You know, that's sort of how this is feeling to me. It feels very direct. Like I'm telling you, there's a lot of energy here of like directness. Just, I'm done. I'm cutting my losses and I'm heading out, which is really, really positive. You know, in your physical world, these two came out together, so I did take them. You have the King of Swords and the Knight of Wands. I feel like some of you guys are dealing with people here that are not very, like, warm, cuddly, friendly. You know, King of Swords, I always say, is lawyerly. You know, a King of Swords is someone who's like, why are you wearing that? You look stupid. You know, they're very blunt, and they can come off almost as, like, what's that word I'm looking for? Like when they talk down to you. And so it feels like with this Knight of Wands also, it's like you're dealing with people right now, whether or not this is work for all of you. Like I said, I don't know. But you're dealing with people that are handling you with little care. You know, Knight of Wands is not a very careful knight. He's just sort of like I'm going to do what I want, and that's just how it's going to be. And I feel like a lot of you guys, for this to be in the physical world, like in your physical surroundings, I think a lot of you guys think you're being dramatic, but you're not. I think you're dealing with some imposter syndrome here. Oh, okay, my guides are bringing me back to the headspace here. I think it's because other people aren't seeing it. I think because this is very, like, closed door, like, behind closed doors kind of energy, other people aren't recognizing what's going on because they're not really seeing it. And I feel like it's making you question, like, is it even going on? Is it even happening? Or am I making something up here? Aquarius, I don't feel like you're making anything up right now, babe. At all. I don't feel that at all. Yeah, you've got the Ace of Cups in the reverse, the Hermit, and then the Nine of Wands, but it's in the reverse as well. There's almost this feeling here of, I feel like, Aquarius, you've worked to bridge this gap. You know, like it feels like you've already brought this to the attention of someone. Like you've already said something or gone out of your way to make some sort of statement here. And I feel like with the Hermit, you were kind of met with silence. You know, there's this really big feeling here, Ace of Cups in reverse, of once again, like wherever you are, Aquarius, whatever this situation is, you're being taken for granted a little bit. You know, it feels like with the Hermit here and the Ace of Cups in reverse, I think you're realizing that for a lot of you that are in corporate, it's almost like, I keep hearing I'm just a number. You know, I feel like a lot of you are realizing whatever situation this is that you're in, it's unfair. You know, Ace of Cups in reverse, these people don't love me. This corporation doesn't love me. Where I am, there's a lack of love here. And I feel like with the Nine of Wands in the reverse, Nine of Wands in the reverse is like willing to give it one last go. And the Hermit, I feel like you guys are, it's weird because it's almost like you already gave it one last go is what I want to say here. You know, I feel like you did your best to, like, again, I keep getting this sense of like, I brought it to someone's attention. Like I already brought it forward and it's just not being received or like acknowledged. And that's leaving you pretty isolated here, Aquarius. Pretty, like, with the Hermit, it almost feels like this is not really like a, how do I say this? It's forced isolation. That's what this feels like to me. I don't think you guys are really, you didn't take the time to recluse to the cave and gain higher enlightenment. It's sort of like you're being, I almost want to say frozen out. I hate that for you, Aquarius. There's just it's a gross energy. I'm going to be honest with you. It's murky, like swampy, almost like waddling through mud. And it just feels like you're not, again, getting what you're giving. Like you held out for a long time, you gave back, you brought this to people's attention, and you're just, again, being met with silence, being met with, oh, sorry that's happening to you. It's very gross. You know, in the past here, you've got the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Coins in this deck. So I feel like for a lot of you, again, you went into something. This feels like career for a lot of you. Ace of Pentacles is money. It's opportunity. And it feels like you went into something with the idea that it would pay off. Ace of Pentacles is also like, I'm planting a seed and it's gonna sprout at a later time. So it feels like you went into something with this intention of like, this will eventually give back to me. And I don't feel like it's giving back. I feel like that's why you're also kind of pissed about it. Because I can sense that you're angry, Aquarius. I'm curious to see where you will go with your anger, though. Because let's remember, anger serves us, right? Anger lets us know when a boundary is crossed. Lets us know when something's wrong. Thank you. 2 of Cups, 9 of Cups, but it was in the reverse. This could be a business partnership for some of you. Knight of Wands. Yeah, again, 6 of Pentacles here. This is so heavy business. This is so heavy business relationship. Like I said, it doesn't have to be, but it could be romantic. But this feels like, even if it's romantic, you're still seeing it through the lens of transactionality. I don't even know if that's a word. Like, it's a transaction, you know, like, give me money and I'll give you love kind of energy here. Knight of Wands, Knight of Cups, 9 of Cups in the reverse, and the 2 of Cups. It's almost like this isn't what I thought it was going to be kind of energy here. You know, 2 of Cups is that connection, that is that partnership here. It is a soul connection, whatever this is. There is a lesson here for the soul self. And like I said, if this is not a person and it's like a corporation, you are still destined to be here. The 9 of Cups in the reverse is like it's like waking up out of a bad dream is almost how I'm feeling, like disillusionment. And then the Knight of Wands, again, it's like, Aquarius, wherever you are, whatever you're dealing with here, it's people that treat you very half-assed. Knight of Wands is like not a very reliable knight. You know, it's a knight that is here sometimes, but not all the time. Here for a good time, not a long time. That's the type of energy of a Knight of Wands. And it feels like maybe this person or this corporation, this whatever this is for you, put up a really good front when you signed up for this. Like, they put up this front of like, oh, I'm going to take care of you. 2 of Cups, we're equal. We're going to go into this equal. It's going to be really great for us, really positive for us. And it doesn't feel like that's what happened. You know, with that Knight of Wands, it feels like almost like this person, or it feels like one person for you, for a lot of you. It's like they were just looking out for themselves. You know, it's like the way my guides are saying this to me is pretty brutal. Used me for your own means. Like, it's almost like this person, this is weird. It's like they used you for, I don't know, like a story, or like to show. It's almost like kind of nursing like a baby bird back to life, and then being like, oh my god, everyone, look at what I did. Not saying that you're in a baby bird, Aquarius, but it's almost like they wanted to grow you almost as just a way to be like, hey, look at what I did. It's pretty gross, I'm gonna be honest here. In your near future, you have the 10 of Wands. So again, this is one of those moments where I'm going to be really blunt. If you stay here, the burden will just remain. It's not going to go anywhere. That's the problem, is that I feel like you think that there's almost like a part of you that feels like, well, if I just keep trying, it will get better. I hate to say this, Aquarius, but like, it won't. This is one of those things that it just gets worse. I'll give you a real world example my guides want me to give you. I worked with, I used to be a hairdresser, and before you're a hairdresser, you have to be an assistant, which is the person that washes hair. I worked at this one salon where the person that trained me had been an assistant for like a year and a half already, and then I assisted for like over a year before moving up, and they still had not been moved up. They were still an assistant. And the reason they were an assistant still is because our boss hated them. You will never move up. Let's say you're a hairdresser. You will never get a chair working at a salon where your boss hates you. Aquarius, for whatever reason, you're doing something similar here. I hate to say that to you, but you need to realize that you will never move forward in an environment where the person controlling movement doesn't want you to move. Yeah, you've got the 10 of Swords, the 4 of Wands, and the Lovers in the reverse. I think this is going to be hammered home for you really heavily in the near future. This, like, idea of Lovers in reverse. Oh, I don't belong here. Like, this isn't for me. I always tell my clients, if you have to water yourself down to sit at the table, you're at the wrong fucking table. That's what this feels like for me, Aquarius. You feel like you're trying to fit in at a table that's not meant for you. That was never meant for you. You know, and that's why it's been so uncomfortable this whole time. And with that 10 of Swords, you have to let it go. 4 of Wands. I understand that we're dealing with the sunk cost fallacy of like, well, I've sunk so much time into this, and if I let it go, I'm losing all of that. Know that that's not true. The sunk cost fallacy is a fallacy for a reason, right? It's because it's false. You know, when I left hairdressing, I thought, you know, oh my goodness, I'm losing all of this, I'm losing all of that. But really, hairdressing taught me how to run a business. Taught me how to interact with clients, how to book clients, how to do anything and everything in my business right now that I do as a psychic medium. I do it because I was a hairdresser first. Do you see what I mean here? Come out of this illusion of things will get better, I'm valued, this and that. That's where your near future is. You know, this, again, an ugly realization. You know, this isn't meant for me. That's how this feels to me. Even in how you're viewing yourself right now as the Page of Swords, you're already looking outside. You're already looking outside of where you are right now. Page of Swords is curiosity outside of your station. You know, it's curiosity outside of what you're doing currently. And so with that Page of Swords, it feels like a lot of you guys are also being encouraged to continue looking by your guides. It's like my guides are telling you to browse. I always say, like, if I work a show, let's say I have a booth and I work a show, someone walks into the show, into my booth, I always say, browse and carouse. Browse and carouse. That's your advice here, Aquarius, for yourself too. Or from yourself, I should say. It's like your higher self knows that this isn't for you. Yeah, the Moon, 10 of Pentacles. And you may not know what is for you. But we still have to keep moving. You know, there was a very large period in my life where I used to say to myself, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm not stopping. Aquarius, that's where you guys are right now. Yeah, you have the Moon, the 10 of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. So Queen of Pentacles is a mom card. I don't feel like this is a mother for most of you. I feel like this is more so of like you asking yourself, what do you want to birth? You know, with that Queen of Pentacles, what do I want to create? What do I want to birth for my own life here? And with that Moon and the 10 of Pentacles, Aquarius, it's okay to not know. I need to remind you of that. It is okay to not know. It is absolutely 100% okay to be unsure of what the next step is for you. What you need to understand about that is that not knowing is not a reason to not move. Do you know what I mean here? Like, just because you're unsure of ultimately like where the future is for you, where you want your future to go, doesn't mean we just stop moving. We stop thinking about it. We stop journaling about it. We stop applying places. You know, be proactive here, because that's the only way you're going to move through this, is if you're proactive. Because your superpower right now is the 9 of Cups. You know, I feel like with this as your superpower, your supporting energies, Aquarius, let your emotions guide you. 9 of Cups is happiness, wish fulfillment. You know, let your heart space, your heart chakra, and your feelings show you the way here, okay? Bottom of the deck is the Emperor, okay? Take control, the Devil. The Emperor is the divine masculine. So it is known as the father of the tarot. It doesn't have to be a father, of course. But the Emperor is stepping into that seat of power. It is making that decision for yourself. It's moving forward. It's proactive energy. You know, Empresses sit still, look pretty. Emperor is like, no, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get it. 9 of Cups, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Ace of Wands, 9 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords. It's almost like, Aquarius, you need to give yourself permission to explore things that are not previously explored. That's how this is coming through. You know, allow yourself time, grace to find your passion. Ace of Wands, again, passion. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Ace of Wands is, again, what do you want to birth? What is the next step for you? And I feel like with the 2 of Swords here and the 9 of Pentacles, this is about work for a lot of you. Sorry, my throat's a little sore today. Allergies. You know, with that 9 of Pentacles, self-sufficiency, self-sustainability. How can you start building self-sufficiency and self-sustainability if you won't let yourself imagine? Just allow yourself to imagine it. Go out, try something. You know, it feels like with the Ace of Wands here, you're being called to really look at and just try. Even if you think you're passionate about it, just try it. You'll know. I used to draw when I was young, and it was squashed out of me. I was bullied out of drawing, and so I took it up in my 30s. And in my 30s, I'm 30. I took it up when I turned 30, and I did it for about a month, and I saw after that month, you know what? My passion doesn't really lie here. It was fun. I enjoyed it, but I don't think this is for me. That's what I'm saying, Aquarius. Allow yourself the grace to pick something up, try it, and then decide maybe it's not for you. Okay? But your fear is the 9 of Swords. The only way we get out of anxiety is if we confront it. If we look at what we're anxious about and then ask ourselves, what am I actually anxious about here? What's actually making me feel afraid here? With the Sun and the Tower at the bottom of the deck, I feel like you're afraid of being happy. It's a fear of success. Because that means something has to change. You know, with this 9 of Swords as your fear, it almost is giving like... How do I say this? Yeah, 9 of Swords on the 9 of Swords. It's just afraid of changing. It's afraid of having to break out of the mold. 4 of Wands. Oh, excuse me, 6 of Wands. I lied. Yeah, literally 6 of Wands is victory. 9 of Swords is anxiety. You have a fear of success here, babe. And the Knight of Cups. I think you also have a fear of being perceived. I'm going to remind you that you don't actually have a fear of being perceived. You have a fear of being perceived negatively. And I feel like for a lot of you guys here, something that you have to remember, and I'm not saying this to be a Debbie Downer, I'm simply giving you what helped me in this regard. I mean, I used to be on TikTok, I make YouTube videos, I work at a cafe, I've always worked in the public eye. Some people are just not going to like you. I wasn't the barista for everyone. I wasn't the hairdresser for everyone. And I'm not the tarot reader for everyone. Aquarius, you need to understand that as long as you support you and you like the way you do something, it doesn't matter if someone else doesn't. I loved the way I did hair. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Some people didn't. That's okay. That's okay. I am going to be content and happy and not be anxious because someone else doesn't like how I do highlights. Same thing for you guys here, okay? The way you're going to start like confronting these fears and these anxieties is by recognizing that some people just won't like you, but that's not your fault. It's not a reflection of you. Let's say you're a hairdresser. Let's say you do a highlight. Someone else doesn't like it. That's not a reflection of you as a hairdresser. It's just a difference of an opinion. You know, you can see my cat, he's coming up. You know, when I was, for an example, for those of you that get your hair done, you'll understand this. When I was a hairdresser, I did highlights that were very blended. There was no real, they didn't go up to the root. There was no like harsh lines. And some people didn't like that. They wanted that, like, I call it the 2001 Kelly Clarkson chunky highlight. And that's okay. Them not liking how I do highlights doesn't mean I do bad highlights. They just have a different opinion. They like a chunkier highlight. I don't, so I didn't do it. Do you see what I mean here, Aquarius? It's not a reflection of me. It's not a reflection of me being a bad hairdresser. It's just simply not everyone's going to like you. And that's okay. You know, like I showed you guys earlier, your outcome here is the Emperor and the Empress. So for some of you, there's love coming in, but for others of you, this to me is almost just, I thought it was love at first, but it's for a lot of you, it's reparenting yourself. It's becoming balanced between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Okay? We have to be at home in both of them, right? We can favor one, but we have to be able to access both energies to get what we need out of them. That's your outcome here, Aquarius, is that you're going to become balanced and you're going to be able to pull from the energies that you need to move forward. Thank you. Thank you. I think there's two here. I was right. Yeah. Fool, Seven of Swords, and Death. I feel like even if you guys have to do it quietly, with that Seven of Swords is lying, cheating, stealing, but it can also be grabbing all my stuff and heading for the hills, like disappearing, you know? So it feels like for me, for you guys, I should say, with this Fool, the Seven of Swords, and Death is the death of the ego. It's the death of the persona that we're putting forward. I think a lot of you guys are going to be taking a quieter route away from whatever this is. You're going to be healing in quiet. You're going to be healing alone. And honestly, sometimes that's the best way to do it. You know, there are moments where we are meant to blow up a bridge after passing over it. And there are moments when we're just meant to pass over it. And sometimes we even blow up a bridge while we're still on it. It's the last case scenario, but it happens. Okay? Allow yourself a quiet exit away from whatever this is. Allow yourself space to heal, to come back into balance within yourself so that you can move forward and you can release those fears, okay? Let's get you guys some oracle cards. I'm just cleaning up my cards really quick. I have a bad habit of just like throwing my cards everywhere, and then I go to pull oracle cards, or I'll finish the video and I can't even reach my keyboard because there's cards everywhere. So we're all tackling our bad habits. All right, Aquarius, this is the Oracle of the Healing Waters by Rebecca Campbell. Absolutely fabulous deck. Love Rebecca Campbell's decks. They're all amazing. Would highly recommend it, but let's see. What's the advice for Aquarius for this month, please? For October? What's the advice for Aquarius? Advice for Aquarius, please. That was fast. Just one? Oh, no, there's two. Okay. I'll take one more, please. Thank you. Perfect. All right. We've got the Well Maidens. Kindness, respect, reverence, compassion. Always remember that to be kind to yourself. Kindness comes first. Follow the stream. Dedication, trust, future rivers and oceans. Your future self will thank you for the hard decisions you're making today, Aquarius. And Atlantis. Keep the big vision. Stay in alignment as you grow. Okay? Like I said earlier, it's okay to not have this specific end goal. It's okay if you're just chasing a feeling. For a long time, I was like, I just want peace. That was it. I didn't know where I was going, but my goal was peace. And eventually I did find it. So, Aquarius, I will leave that there for you. That is your monthly forecast for October. I hope this reading was helpful for you guys. If the reading resonates with you, if my reading style resonates with you, I would really appreciate if you would consider liking and subscribing. We are on the road to 200 subscribers, which is exciting. If you guys would like to interact with me on a live basis, I do go live 3 days a week on Twitch. You can find me Wednesday and Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. EST, as well as Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. EST. There's also a Discord server you can join if you would like. It is a fabulous group of individuals. It is where I post all of my updates about stream schedules, as well as just when a new YouTube is posted, it's posted there. So that's available to you as well, Aquarius. I will leave you guys with this. I hope you have a fabulous morning, night, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is, and I'll see you guys in the next video, okay? Bye.